The following video is presented to you by the EA Game Changers. Thank you so much to EA for flying me to Orlando to take part in this early capture. What's shaking, Chewy Nation? ChewbaccaLemma here, back with another Madden 20 video. Today we have the all power-up lineup, the best player at every position with X factors and abilities. The best team you can have day one right here. We have the best overall at every position and their backup. So Brady and Mahomes, it's Gurley and Zeke and Bell. We got all the top receivers. Nuke, Odell, Antonio, Julio, Michael Thomas. They're all there. The tight ends are all there. The offensive line, everybody is there. Our X factors, if you've seen it, were Nuke, Gurley, and Tom Brady. On defense, we got the pass rushes where it's crazy. Clowney, Mack, Donald, Watt, Fletcher Cox. That is absolutely insane. We have the top, obviously, like I said, we have the best player at every position with Gilmore, Ramsey, Sherman, Pat Pete as our return man, and our fourth corner, Byron Jones. We got Harrison Smith, Earl Thomas. We went Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, and Jalen Ramsey for our defensive X factors. I think those are solid choices. It's gonna be interesting to see where the meta does go with those. We do have Sprinter activated as well. You get +3 speed this year with Sprinter, so that's in the game. Also, I already talked about the 3 X factors I have on offense, but one thing I didn't mention, play fake. If you max it out, if you scroll down, you can see you get +1 speed. The same with balanced O. They really tried to focus on balancing the chems a little bit more this year, as they got a little bit out of control last year. So you notice that play fake wasn't very popular, balanced O wasn't very popular. So that +1 speed at the end, I think that obviously will make them much more popular this year, and probably the most popular chems later on in the year. You can't even get 50 out of 50 yet, so it might be a month or two before people really start running it. But it is something to note that is now +1 speed is possible if you run play fake or balanced O. We are going to go ahead and run into a hard challenge here, playing a full game with the God Squad. One thing I will mention throughout my videos and continue to mention is when you're going ahead and equipping your X factors and abilities, don't be spending willy-nilly training if you know how you're going to set up your lineup. So if you put abilities on every single player, that doesn't help you. You only can have 3 X factors / ability players. Whoever you have as your X factors are the ones that get the passive abilities as well. If I have Odell Beckham Jr. right now, like I have abilities on him, but he's not an X factor in my lineup, so he doesn't get the abilities either. That's the only way to get him. You have 3 on offense and 3 on defense. So these X factors we see here, you see the passive abilities, clutch and man up for Ramsey. They're all here if you pause the game. What's really nice is you don't have to pause the game anymore. You can just hit the right trigger and it will pop up with all these X factors, so you know. You don't need to pause it. So you can see your offensive ones, you can see what they're running on defense, and if you're on defense, obviously you can see your defense, and then hit the right stick up with holding the right trigger, and it will bring up the offense if you're on defense. So you can see them without having to pause it, which is really nice. But you see those passive. I got identifier and conductor on Brady, which is great, but that means that because I used a slot for Brady, that I can't use another wide receiver, or like Odell. He doesn't get his abilities or X factors. So you only get 3 X factors, which I know a lot of you guys know, but also you only get 3. Those 3 slots are the ones that get the abilities as well, even if you have abilities equipped on other players. Hopefully that made sense. Just 3 players on offense and defense get abilities / X factors. So there you go. Let's go ahead and talk about the defense here. It's pretty much random. It's basically coach suggestions. I wanted to show off, just kind of random stuff. We have the best defense in the game, so there's no reason to try to just send crazy blitzes at him or anything like that. It would be a little unfair and maybe not show off the game very well. Making a great tackle there is Khalil Mack, which is fantastic. Setting up this 2nd and 1, a nice gain by them. Luke Kuechly gets spun out. Oh, Panther on Panther crime, but go ahead and clean him up with Bobby Wagner with the tackle. That guy is going to be a very popular choice in this game. He's very good. We have a terrible user there, but absolutely lay the wood on Greg Olsen. Harrison Smith came up. He can hit, lays him out. He did hang on, though. 2nd and 12. was seeing if any of this pressure would come in. Jalen Ramsey does come up and make the tackle. Great tackle by Ramsey. You would expect him to be one of the higher rated tacklers in the game. Setting up this 3rd and 16, we're going to see we get chop blocked by the running back, but the quarterback felt the pressure, was not confident in the pass protection. You saw it come up with, like, he was under pressure, and it said inaccurate pass. So he threw an inaccurate pass, and thankfully my user was there for the first lurk of Madden 20 right there by Bobby Wagner. Setting up this 1st and 10. We go ahead and throw it out. Very dangerous pass right there to Odell Beckham Jr. Probably my favorite receiver in the game. I guess besides Hopkins. As a Texans fan, I'm obviously going to be partial to Hopkins, but as you see Hopkins right here, Odell Beckham Jr. plays really, really well, as does Hopkins. We know he played, if you played the beta, or, you know, if you went into franchise and played with him, or, you know, the Mike Evans types, like, they play ridiculously good. But Odell just, to me, like, he seemed like he was even better somehow, even though Hopkins is an absolute stud. 2nd and 18 after taking a sack. We take another one. We had unfortunately, unable to get rid of the ball. You got to get used to it just taking a little bit longer to get rid of that ball. That would have been an easy, huge gain in Madden 19, but this year, not so much. 3rd and 30, 3rd and a mile. DeAndre Hopkins absolutely destroyed his man. Why are you running man coverage on 3rd and 30? Nuke Hopkins with the absolutely ginormous gain, picking up that 1st down. And I guess it was cover 3 match. Very similar, though. It matched up, and we go ahead and get that huge gain. 2nd and 10 here. We're going to try to go ahead and thread the needle to Julio. That would have been an absolutely ridiculous catch. But if you're a Falcons fan, or if you follow the NFL, you know that Julio Jones is allergic to the end zone, so he's not... I know a lot of people are on the Julio as the best receiver in the game. I understand. I'll admit I'm biased, so I'm going to say Hopkins. But to me, it's like 1A and 1B. Insane, both of them. Unfortunately, I tried to cheese the CPU with a low point there, unable to make the completion, and then we'll settle for 3. That would have been such a hot dot if that was complete with that low point. But we do have the ball back here, 3-0. We're going to go ahead and do a nice little touch pass there. If you get, I think there's like a rack 'em up ability. If you put that on a receiver, that counts as a completion, and you get, like, if you can, like, change direction, like, right away without losing any speed. I've heard that's kind of glitchy. I don't know if that's going to be available in MUT Day 1. Oh, we got to show this off here. Odell, block him. You see him put the hand out. Go ahead and get that guy downfield, because I'm going to go ahead and juke this guy out of his shoes. Gone 4-6. Let's go, Odell. Like I said, the guy's an absolute stud. But that touch pass, if you get the rack 'em up ability, which I'm not sure if it's going to be available in MUT Day 1 because of thresholds that you need for certain abilities, and when that will be available. But once you get that available, you might have to mess around with that, or you can just go into practice mode. I think Odell has it in regs, and just practice with him and try those touch passes. The ability is like you can change direction without slowing down, so you can, like, immediately and then, like, cut up field, and you just the cut is so sharp, and you go so fast. It can be super glitchy. Super good for sure. Something to try out if you're wanting to try something unique. Again, I don't think it's available in MUT yet, that rack 'em up, but it will be sometime down the road. Anyway, 3rd and 19 after the sack. Huge sack there, setting up this 3rd and 19. We're trying the pressure here. We are setting 5. Again, the running back, you see, that's a contain, but the running back's actually picking up quite well, which you like to see that. The running back actually picking up the block and pretty much consistently going low and picking it up. McCaffrey there. So I do like seeing that. Those are contains, and we're worried that maybe they're a little overpowered. The running back seems to be picking up quite well. So 4th and 19, though, they did end up going and punting it. We're going to go and run backwards because let's be honest. I mean, I could have juked him out. I could have spun him out. I could have returned that first touchdown with ease. I would have done that. But let's go ahead and let's show off the offense. A little bit of okey doke fakey there. I don't know what I'm saying. We go ahead and complete it there to Odell Beckham Jr. again. Like I said, this guy is a game changer. Pick him up if you can, man. He's going to be a little bit cheaper, obviously. He's going to be a lot cheaper probably than Hopkins. Speaking of Hopkins, not great pocket presence there. Roll on the run. Could have been inaccurate, but Brady does deliver the dot right there. But he will definitely be a lot cheaper than Hopkins based on previous years. The higher overalls are just more expensive. It's definitely somebody you should keep an eye on here. We're dropping back. I don't know why you see just terrible pocket presence. We had great blocking. We could have hit X along the sideline. just terrible. I got to get used to the windup. Just not a great look for me using Tom Brady right there. 3rd and 18 though. We go to our gun bunch quads. We see Odell. We see it. I know this play quite well. And then we juke him. Odell Beckham Jr. in 4-6. He's gone. He's celebrating. Touchdown. Odell. Huge play. 17-0, pinning this extra point. I know my gun bunch quads. It's quite good. There's definitely counters to that. I mean, if you see it and you're like, oh wow, the zones are no. There's definitely zones that will play across a route. Plus pressure comes in. A lot of times you can't even complete it anyway. But it is quite a good route. I like those. Go ahead and get back on defense, and they just had to force it up. Cam Newton throws a pick. I shouldn't have picked it like in real talk. Like I would not pick it if it was a real game that I was trying to win. Up 17-0. Game's already over. Might as well pick it and give us some more chances to get some more yards on offense. 1st and 10. We go back to that play. Again right there. Odell. We're gonna spin him. A nasty spin. And a nice tackle there, though. That was close. I would have broke that tackle. I'm gone. 4-6. Odell Beckham Jr. doing his thing. 3rd and 10 after a couple incompletions. We're going to just throw it up. We're sick of this. We're just like, I'm just going to throw it up to DeAndre Hopkins and see if he can make a play. And he does just that. Nuke Hopkins I was going to say picked it off. Yeah, that makes sense. He caught it for a huge touchdown. Absolutely insane. Nuke Hopkins. If you get double me on him, you're going to be able to do that if they only have one man on him. If you're playing against a normal, if you're playing against another person, they're going to swat that. But against a CPU, obviously, you can do that sometimes. If you have the double me activated, though, they're going to have to double him, or you're going to be able to do that even with the swat. So keep that in mind. Again, there's counters to stuff, but if they do get in the zone, they get that double me X factor, you're going to have to double them until you knock them out of the zone, which isn't very hard. But that will be catches. You will see stuff like that if you don't double them with that double me X factor. But we go ahead and complete it. We didn't get 15 completions. I think we had like 11 or 12. So we did get 4 stars instead of 5. We weren't really actively going for 5, so I can't say I'm upset that I didn't get 5, but I am not thrilled that I'm showing you a 4-star performance, but it's okay. We go ahead and show the team off real quick again. If I had to prioritize who I would pick up, I would definitely say Odell on offense if you're able to afford him. There's going to be a lot of budget guys, but Odell, if you're able to, seems like he might, and he didn't even have an ability in the last game. He was just an absolute stud. So offensively, Odell Beckham Jr. was the star of this show for sure. Brady obviously is going to be good. Defensively, if you can get a pass rusher, whether it's a Watt, a Donald, of course, but even somebody like a Bosa might be a good option for pass rushing. Somebody a little bit cheaper. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this God Squad best team in MUT day 1. You guys are absolutely incredible. That's all I got. ChewbaccaLemma out.